So I do web and mobile development, and for web development, I prefer Chrome because of its extensive developer tools. Also for mobile development, Chrome comes in handy too. That's another story. I'm going to try a browser that I heard about. I feel like I'm a little late to the game because this browser has been around for a couple of years. It's a browser for web developers. Let me show you. It's called Sizzy, the browser for web developers. Maybe I should check it out. So this is going to be my first look at it. I'm going to download this. Oh, by the way, this is not sponsored or anything. It is a paid product. So they have a pricing tab. I'm going to try it for free. And 12 bucks a month seems like a lot for a browser. So this thing better deliver. That's all I'm saying. I have a Mac with Apple chip. Let's download that. And I'm going to run the installer. And I've never run this before, but right now it's asking me to create an account or use a license key. Not a fan of this because, well, why can't I just use it as a browser like all the other browsers? Fine. I'm going to log in with GitHub. Okay. It's not asking for too many permissions. That's good. Makes it easy. Continue using trial. Okay. Let's start choosing a theme. Auto is fine. DevTool extensions. Oh, that's cool. What tools do you use to develop? Well, I use React. Angular State Inspector. Let's do that. And Vue.js DevTools. I wonder if adding these extensions is going to degrade my performance. I hope not. Okay, we have a little bit of a animation of what this thing can do. Okay, interesting. This is just a description of why you'd need Sizzy, but I already downloaded it. I don't need to be convinced more while I'm trying to use the browser. That's the job of the website, not here. I feel like this is a little bit too much of an onboarding process here, but that's okay. So Sizzy comes with tons of features and tools that help you level up your development workflow, social media previews, projects, device simulations. I like the sound of all this stuff. I mean, I read all this stuff on the website, so let's continue. Okay. Here we go, Sizzy. Okay, we have a guided tour. Responsive mode, that's good to know. I'm gonna use that a lot. Device drawer. Okay, oh, this looks like an IDE. Look at all the different drawers we have here. I wonder what they wrote it in. So the thing is responsive itself. It's probably an Electron app. Let's go to google.com. Developer tools is open by default. I like that. This looks like, I feel kind of like at home here with this developer tools, because this looks like Chrome developer tools. We have different devices. iPhone 14 Pro. Huh, so that really thought it was using a mobile device, which is different than just using Chrome and setting it to like a narrow view, because when you're using Chrome and you just shrink your browser down so you can see how your site looks in responsive mode, you're still loading the desktop site, and the user agent that's sent to the website is still a desktop user agent. Whereas here, it appears that it's sending a mobile user agent, maybe even iPhone 14. There is a website called What is my browser? Let's go to that. Look at that. So this says iPad is my browser, and this one says iPhone is my browser. That right there is already a big selling point. And I've just started looking at this. Damn, there's a lot of stuff here. I don't even know what to look at next. Okay, so it says no elements selected. How do I select an element here? Different levels of inspect. It's a little confusing. I'm not sure yet what the difference between those is. But still, the developer tools that's here is just like the one in Chrome. And this makes me feel right at home, which I like. Now, I do wonder how much resources does this thing use compared to Chrome? Like in Chrome, I usually have a ton of tabs open, right? Let's actually close this one and just keep one tab open. What's my CPU usage here? Chrome is using 8.9 and 6.8. Where's Sizzy? Oh, Chrome is no longer using that much. Here we go. There's Chrome, there's Sizzy. Let's take a look at memory usage. CPU is kind of wanky. Chrome is using more RAM than Sizzy at the moment, and Sizzy is displaying a couple of different devices while Chrome is only showing one tab. So far, so good. Let's see. There's the full desktop. There's just a lot of stuff here. Wow. So a lot of this stuff is repetitive, like the source tab, CSS overrides. Okay, this is where you would put your own CSS. And this is not a deep dive like I mentioned before, so forgive me if I'm just casually skipping over some of these. If you do want me to examine this a little bit deeper, let me know in the comments down below. There's something called snippets. I'm guessing you can save stuff there. Now, what I want to try and do is run a project that I'm familiar with, and see how I can debug it. So here is a React app. This is what the app looks like. in Chrome. We got a dashboard, we got a list of things, and we got details. It's a work in progress. Let's take a look at this in Sizzy. Each one of these devices has an individual snapshot or screenshot button, a rotate button. Oh, you can move these things around. That's really cool. And a refresh button. And you can navigate, of course, between these things. That's really cool. So clearly my site needs some work on responsiveness, but that's not the point. What I want to do is exit Studio here, and I want to try to examine some of these things and debug. So usually what I would do is when I'm debugging my JavaScript or TypeScript, I would say, let's put a breakpoint right over here. And so instead of digging around in the source code in the browser, what I usually do is just go into my code and put a debugger statement in, and that way, hopefully it'll break by itself when I get to that spot. And we're gonna do a new task 6, add, and of course, as it should, it pauses in the debugger, good to go. You can explore your surroundings, variables, your locals here. All right, I'm not so worried about the DevTools at this point. Clearly this thing has the DevTools capabilities because, well, it's looking like it's just taking the ones that are available in Chrome and putting them in here. And it has a ton of other features, which I'm not familiar with. It looks like not a browser, but more like an extension to an IDE. If Microsoft wanted to integrate this into Visual Studio and have this be part of the front-end development experience, they could buy Sizzy and do that. That would be kind of cool. I can see this as an extension to something like Visual Studio. As a standalone browser, I really like this feature where you have your devices all showing and sending the correct user agent to the site. This is interesting right here. Disable transitions, disable animations. Really? Yeah, sure enough, those are disabled. That's pretty cool. Enable all. So this kind of allows you to tune the performance as you're developing and as you're using the site. This is very easy access to the network settings, of course, but all this stuff is available so far. The performance, the network, it's not as easily available in Chrome. It's hidden out of the way, but it's available and it's free. What's not available are these device screens, and that is super powerful. Is it $12 a month powerful? I don't know, maybe if I had like a ton of devices open and seeing them all at the same time, that is actually pretty good. I just can't figure out how to get more devices open. Okay, Sizzy has docs, that's good. Adding devices. To add a device to your workflow, device drawer. Oh, devices. Oh, you just drag them. So we got a Galaxy device now, loading the same page automatically. That's cool. We've got a Samsung S7. Can we filter these? Let's go with iPhone. Yeah, 12 mini, that's a good one. This is extremely cool right here. I have the ability to zoom in and out of these devices like I would just using Command plus Command minus, but I think using this on a larger monitor is ideal. So dragging it over from a smaller monitor to a larger one would give us a lot more real estate, and I think will be more ergonomic when you want to see a lot of devices and see how your sites render in those. Sizzy, an impressive tool with lots of capabilities, lots of stuff to learn. Even just using it out of the box, just with a devices view, might be worth the $12 a month. I'm not forking over the $12 a month just yet. I don't have that type of volume of web work at this moment, but for you it might be worth it. So that's the first look at Sizzy. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.